Bourbonbarkeep, my name's Curtis, and we got one of my favorite releases of the year. Potentially, if you will. Chapter 7, Chapter 8, absolute bangers. Let's see if Little Book Chapter 9 is another one. Little Book Chapter 9, or I guess just Little Book in general, highly sought after. I mean, the packaging alone is something where you're like, that seems like a respectable bottle. Is packaging everything? No. Does it help sometimes? It does. Is what it is. But ultimately, at $160, is this going to be worth that much money? We shall see. This is distilled, blended by Freddie No out of Jim Beam, if you are not familiar with this legend of a blender. This one also going to be kind of in that burr rye category, if you will. This is going to be a blend of 7 to 11-year-old bourbons and an 8-year-old rye. Proof-wise, we're at 121.8, and as we mentioned, the price tag, not so easy to stomach sometimes, $160. But Chapter 8, 160, so we'll see what we're working with. Age-wise, are we a little disappointed? 7 to 11 with that price tag, just slightly. But ultimately, it still comes in the black box, which is probably an extra $10 to $17 with lumber nowadays. So that's super fun. I really enjoy Little Book. We'll try not to be biased. We're just going to go in, $160. That's not for everybody. So let's see, should this be a bottle that you're hunting? I don't know. On the nose. A lot of sweetness, a lot of deep brown sugars, some baking spice, beautiful vanilla, like a vanilla extract, rich vanilla, if you will. I'm encouraged. Cinnamon, I was really trying to dive in there because without reading the label, I couldn't tell you there was a lot of rye in here. I don't know. Let's see. Still not getting a ton of rye as this kind of started to open up a little bit in the hand. That barrel char really started to come out, this nice sweet rich oak, a little bit of like a bubblegum sweetness, which always really enjoy. Don't experience it a ton. First time I think I experienced it was on the Gatsby Reserve. Stuck with me. I was like, wow, didn't realize that was allowed, if you will. But ultimately it's this really rich, inviting brown sugar, a little bit of bubble gum, and this rich vanilla. Kind of excited. Let's get on the palate. That's really good. Really enjoyable. Oh, really zaps the tip of the tongue too. A little black pepper showing up there, just on the tip of the tongue, but ultimately it floods your mouth with beautiful juice. Beautiful juice. Brown sugar, that baking spice is still in there, beautifully done. I think the bubble gum may be translating a little bit from the nose, but ultimately it's actually pretty mouth-watering. That vanilla, barrel char is in there. That rich oak is definitely the highlight of the show. Not that it's over oaky, like not over oaky. I shouldn't say it like that. Not this ultra aged oak like your Knob Creek 18, but just this rich oak that really stands out. That mouthfeel, at least on sip 1, is definitely the showstopper. At 121 proof, I don't know. I feel like it drinks a little under. If this was your first pour of the night, maybe you have a different answer. But ultimately, the mouthfeel and the viscosity that this is bringing on sip 1 is really impressive. Let's see what comes out on sip 2, and then we'll get into some scoring. Sip 2 was fun. I feel like this is kind of why I really enjoy these Little Book chapters, is because it's something that you could sit with, take small sips of, and just bring something out really over time, if you will, like a book. But ultimately, this one, that brown sugar kind of develops into like this toffee. That oak is still raging forward, and it is the best oak that they could find at this point. I think the piece that is really surprising to me is the amount of rye that's not coming out, at least on my palate. Maybe you have that rye spice, that's coming across like that black pepper, but I'm not getting any mint. I think I would have to really sit and dive into figuring out, there's like a little orange peel at the very, very back end of this, but it's just this rich brown sugar, vanilla extract, toffee, and barrel. Beautiful barrel. And baking spice. I don't think that this has a list of 20 different things that you're tasting, like maybe some of like chapter 7 was bringing to the table. Love you. But ultimately, I think it's really good. I think one thing that is kind of surprising, because I'm kind of battling these kind of two different things where it's like, you told me there was rye, and maybe there is, maybe someone else, maybe it opens up into this rye bomb. I don't know. But also this, I couldn't tell you this was a Jim Beam product. I can tell you that, because that nuttiness, nowhere. I feel like these 5 tasty notes that I feel like I've brought to the table are just done extremely well. I think the blending is very well done. And if you are a sucker for a good mouthfeel, which I feel like most of us are, this one's a good one on that level, at least. Senses wise, we needed to start picking some holes. I feel like I've had better experiences with previous little books. I think that this is really good. So trying not to take price into consideration, I feel like this falls into 81. I was tempted to go 82. I think I want to be a little stingy with the high bar that I feel like Little Book should have. I feel like this is a great pour. I don't think it's close to fantastic by any means, but ultimately it's really good. Now the bud is coming. Bang for the buck at $160. I just can't. I don't think I can. It's done really well. You could tell it's a very high quality, but 160, especially even with the ages that are being blended, I can't do it. I can't recommend it. I think I'm gonna dock it. Oh no. I'm just gonna go 47. It hurts to say. I don't think it tastes like $160 this time around. I wish it had maybe a little more complexity. I don't think Little Book 8 was right in my wheelhouse, but I respected what it was bringing to the table at that $160 mark. I wish that this was priced, this book, this chapter, I wish that this was more along that High West Boo Rye. I think unless you just have to have that proof, because the finish is great on this, the mouthfeel is great. If you have to have that proof, fine. I'll hear you. I'm shocked I'm saying this. If I was looking at both the High West Boo Rye, whatever we're going with, and this guy, I think I'm going to go High West. Even at the 92 proof. I think it brings the same mouthfeel, the same complexity, or lack thereof, if you will, depending on what your bar was kind of going into this. I think I would save the $40 and go with High West. I don't love it, because I don't feel like I recommended the High West Boo Rye that highly at $125 at that low of proof. But this time around, I'm going to save the money and go that way. It's really good. It's just not 160. I can't get there. Sorry, Freddie. He doesn't watch, and this wasn't sent to me. So I hope this helps you. Good luck if you're still going to search it out. Power to you. I think that the experience is still really great, just for $160. I can't do it this time. Sorry. Like, subscribe. We'll see what else we got next week.